A dual junction box that can house 2 IP security cameras with a built-in 2-port PoE switch? That's right. All you need is one Ethernet cable to provide power and network connectivity to 2 separate cameras. This reduces the need for separate power sources and excessive cabling, all the while protecting your camera from the elements and from getting tampered with. Simple, yet innovative. Say hello to the R-Series JBOXSWITCH and the JBOXSWITCH-Z. Both versions have an IP66 weatherproof rating, the difference being the JBOXSWITCH is the smaller version and is universally compatible with all R-Series fixed lens IP security cameras. And the JBOXSWITCH-Z is the slightly larger version and is compatible with all R-Series motorized zoom lens IP cameras. Both have respective wall mount accessories that can be purchased separately on our website. You can simply find those on the Junction box product pages in the related products section. In this video, we will unbox the JBOXSWITCH, explain all the features, and then install it. Let's jump into it. All right, opening up the box, we see the screws and anchors. These are for drilling your junction box to the spot where you want to install your camera. Depending on where you're installing it, you might not need to use the anchors at all. Here we have 2 sets of screws. These are for securing the cameras themselves to the junction box. Each little baggie carries 6 screws. Next up, we have a nylon 3/4 inch waterproof cable connector and a rubber gasket with a slit that is used for sealing. Let's take a look at the cable connector. You can unscrew the sealing nut here and unscrew the lock washer, which you don't really need if you're using the cable connector. And here is a little rubber washer. Something that is not included, but you'll need for installation is a hex wrench. If you're a security installer, you probably have one lying around. This is the type of hex wrench you'll need. Also, inside the box, you'll find a mounting template, which might be useful for you. All right, let's check out the JBOXSWITCH itself. So here it is. We have waterproof covers screwed in currently. As you can see, there are 3 in total, 2 on the sides and 1 in the back. On the side, we have a little maintenance door. We're gonna go over the uses of that a little later. But on the front, here we have 2 mounting areas for the camera. As you can see, there are 3-hole screw mount patterns fashioned to fit any R-Series IP security camera with a fixed lens. Now let's get into the junction box with our hex wrench. Before we talk about the integrated switch, let's check out these rubber seals on the front plate. To make sure no water gets into the junction box, we will snake our camera cables through them. Okay, now let's talk about the switch built into the junction box. As you can see, there are 3 cables here. These 2 cables are for connecting to the IP cameras, and this cable is how the switch connects to the network through power over Ethernet. It only takes 1 single Ethernet cable to power up and connect your 2 cameras to the network, all because of this integrated switch. Super handy, right? All your camera cables will fit inside of the junction box very neatly, making for a very clean install. And with these threaded holes on the sides and back of the junction box, it makes the setup so seamless, as we can see when we will set up the junction box. Something really cool about the junction box is that when you connect the switch to the network via PoE, there's actually a green light that comes on, letting you know that the junction box is getting power. Okay, last few things. Let's open the maintenance door on the side of the box. You can unscrew it with the screwdriver. And there you go, easy access to your cable connections. This comes in handy when you have the junction box already installed and just need to check up on the connections without completely taking apart your install. Now that we took an in-depth look at the junction box, let's go ahead and set it up with some cameras. One thing to note is that you will want to use a longer screwdriver or drill bit because the junction box is pretty thick. All right, this part is actually pretty basic. We are installing this junction box pretty much how you would install any other junction box. As we talked about before, the built-in 2-port switch makes it so all that we have to do is run a single Ethernet cable to it. Let's go ahead and connect it for PoE. If you're wanting a step-by-step guide of installing a junction box, check out the video we made on that. Link in the description for that. The 2 R-Series cameras we will be using for this example are the M5T and the M8VD. To make installation easier, I'm going to go ahead and pre-install both cameras' mounting plates to the front plate of the dual junction box. Once you have everything set up, pass the camera's dongles through the front plate. Remember to use the rubber seal for extra protection. Now that the junction box is prepared, we can go ahead and connect the cameras to the switch. And they have power now. Fasten the screws of the front plate to the junction box, position the cameras to your liking, and go ahead and install them. And there you go. If you're interested, there will be links in the description down below for this product. Any comments, questions, or concerns, go ahead and leave us a comment on this video or reach out to one of our security professionals via email or phone call. Subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.